Why do we play sport? I mean, there are lots of different motivations that people have. Some play to win, some play for the joy of competition or the game. Others play for their reputation. Some might play for money. Others play for the glory, for the cheer of the crowd. Whatever our motivations, playing as a Christian should be radically different because we play to worship. Paul writes in Romans chapter 12, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." Notice how physical worship is. We generally think of it as just a spiritual thing. A colleague of mine at Christians in Sport says that he generally finds wherever he goes, his body tends to follow. And it's difficult to think of something more physical than sport. We can play our sport as an act of worship. But notice also the motivation for worship. Paul says, in view of God's mercy. He's writing in chapter 12 of Romans, which means he's had 11 chapters when he's been unpacking how incredibly merciful and loving God is. That despite our rejection of God, God has sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to die on a cross for us, to be raised to new life. And now he's given us his Spirit so that we can live lives of worship. The Christian missionary and sports player Eric Liddell was due to go to China and to be a missionary out there. And he knew that China and being a missionary was, of course, an act of worship. But he was also a fantastic sports player. He was not only an international standard athlete, but he was also an international rugby player for Scotland. In the film Chariots of Fire, Eric Liddell said, "God made me for China, I know that. But he also made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure." How incredible, what a privilege to be able to play our sport feeling God's pleasure because we do it as an act of worship in view of God's mercy.